What do you stand for, or what do you represent? Think about that. When you look at someone, there's usually about 3 different sides, but you won't see them all. If you're lucky, you might see 2, but most people will only see 1. This first side is your default state of mind. Not too many people will see this. It's mostly when you're at home alone, or maybe you're typing aimlessly on the internet. This second side is basically who you aspire to become. Think of it as you 2.0. It's the face you put on whenever you'd like to make a good impression on someone. And this third side. This is the side of you that everyone else sees. You would assume that this would be pretty close to the second side, but that's not always true. It all comes down to the perspective of who you're interacting with. This is not an ideal world, and I guarantee you that at least one point in your life, you've been discriminated, and probably at least one point in your life, you've discriminated against someone else as well. And maybe you didn't mean to. Maybe you feel bad about it now, but it all comes down to perspective. Not all forms of discrimination are equal, but they all make someone feel bad. And as anime fans, I'm sure many of you have experienced this, even if the stereotype didn't fit you. Take it from me, I'd get it a lot. Sometimes I wake up and the first thing I see in a day is somebody leaving me a comment, some armchair asshole calling me a virgin in YouTube comments. But it doesn't bother me though, because I know who I am and I'm confident in what I represent. Today I wanted to talk about stereotypes and what you can do to change them. Recently I've been getting a lot of requests to talk about the video The Adventures of Butthurt Anime Fan, and I could, but I know I could say a lot more on the subject matter. That's why I'm making this video, but I thought that was mostly tongue-in-cheek. It was pretty funny. I didn't find anything offensive there. However, there were some truth to the stereotypes shown. You may not directly relate with one of those stereotypical characters in the skit, but unfortunately, as an anime fan, it's kinda how the world sees you. And I know it's pretty bad, but it doesn't have to be that way. You have more control over this than you think. It's simple, really. It all comes down to how you represent yourself and the way you treat others. How many of you out there experience racial or religious discrimination no matter how hard you try to be well received by others, and then you have someone of the same race or faith do something completely stupid that reinforces these negative stereotypes? It's embarrassing, isn't it? And I know everybody out there has had at least one time in their life where their parents force them to go somewhere with them, they don't want to be there, they see some girl they want to talk to, or maybe somebody that they know from school or whatever, and their parents just embarrass them by getting in an argument with each other over something stupid, or maybe it's the way that one of them is dressed, they look like a hobo or something. It is embarrassing. Now I know these examples aren't equal, they're not really comparable, but they're both examples of how someone's perspective can be changed of you without you doing anything. And the same thing can be said about anime. It's not popular enough to be considered normal, so any fan of anime, not only do you represent yourself, but you represent all of the other anime fans, as well as anime itself. And what makes this even worse is that all of the other anime fans out there represent you. So why are anime fans seen as being very immature? It's because many anime fans have no respect for other people or their tastes. This is something that's very elementary. You don't respect other people? Come on, you should be above this. And when I say taste, I mean taste, such as tastes in different genres. I don't mean somebody who's out there screaming at the top of their lungs on a camera or typing in all caps defending their favorite show and overhyping it to hell, a show that is demonstrably poorly constructed. That itself is also detrimental to the anime cause. There are simply not enough critical thinkers. Too many people expect their opinion on what makes a good anime series to be equal to someone who has seen 5 times, 10 times, 20 times more different anime series and then therefore knows more about anime than them. I'm not saying that people's opinions aren't important, I'm saying that mature people will respect someone's opinion when they have more experience on the matter. The truth is, anime fans cannot get along with each other, so how do we expect other people to see anime or us as being mature? Now think about some of the negative stereotypes people have about anime fans. Some people think they're fat, dirty, stinky, nasty, poorly groomed. There are some anime conventions where they will get on the intercom at the end of the day and remind people to bathe. That shouldn't happen. Some people think anime fans are hopeless virgins that have no people experience and are completely ignorant, but will sit there and argue their poorly conceived ideas until they were blue in the face. They think you think Japan is the best country in the world and its people and culture are superior. They think you only care about anime even at the expense of other forms of entertainment and even getting a job. They think you're antisocial and you're happy with being alone forever in your mom's basement, and some people even think anime fans are pedophiles. There was one case in Canada where this guy was stopped at an airport. They did a check on him. They opened up his laptop and saw that he had an edgy wallpaper, and they believed that to be pedophilic paraphernalia, and they arrested him for it. And he had this long, drawn-out court battle because he had a picture on his wallpaper. So why do we let everyone think this way about us, about our passion, and everyone who shares it with us? Short answer, most anime fans don't care. We spend most of our time online building these walls and gathering people who think nearly identically to us and have very similar taste, only because we want to get away from everyone else who is just nitpicking and starting arguments over nothing. But then whenever you have enough people who all agree with each other, you have strength in numbers, and then you start arguing with the people who disagree with you, so you're just perpetuating the issue. How do we expect people to see us differently and stop using these negative stereotypes when we are in a constant civil war in our fandom? It's a hobby and we're at war with each other over it. Like and welcome to the NHK, where the conspiracy was explained to be getting people into anime, and as they watch more anime, they get more into these subgenres and only talk to the people that like anime of those subgenres, until the point comes when they are all alone and they are not compatible with anyone at all. Think about all of the negative stereotypes you've heard about anime fans and apply them to your life. Compare them and see which ones fit, and I know not all of them are, but I'm sure some will here or there for some people. It really just all depends, but think about what you're going to do to show the world that you are different than that. What are you going to do for that? Are you going to stop talking to anyone who thinks that way and only talk to the same people who like the same anime as you, or only talk to people who like anime? Then if you're doing that, you are just reinforcing those negative stereotypes. The best way to beat negative stereotypes is to understand that some of them are based in truth. Compare them with your life and find ways to improve. Many people see it as degrading to change their self. It's a big hit to their pride because it's like admitting that they were wrong, or maybe they're afraid of being nagged by everyone around them by saying that maybe they're trying too hard, they're not being true to their self, or they're just being fake. Those relationships are what I would call stagnant. You do not need them, and you can do better. I know very well that changes can be hard. Make a list of short-term and long-term changes you'd like to see in your life and try and make small changes every day to strive towards that goal. It's hard to make a big change fast, but if you can make small little changes every day or every other day, then you're going to make a big change over time. Think about ways you'd like to improve yourself or things you'd like to learn. YouTube is a great source of information, and I've learned many things from YouTube, from building and fixing computers to cooking to clothing. There's even plenty of great relationship building advice on YouTube. Now, one bad thing about YouTube is that there are so many amateurs on here that I don't recommend that you go out there and you find somebody and you imitate them. Don't do that. Watch a lot of people that have different varying ideas about it and learn from their experiences in life, and that's the best way to do it. Not going outside, learning firsthand from trial and error, but learning from other people's experiences. And I remember, because I learned so much from YouTube, I tried to pay it forward and give it back to YouTube. I made 3 videos. One of them was about dieting, one of them was about clothing, and one of them was about men's skincare. Some were very well received, and I received messages of people saying how I inspired them, and others were not so well received, and people were saying that they do not care about improving their self, and they do not care about how they look. They don't care about looking good. When someone says they don't care about how they look, what does that make you think? Does it make you think that they're happy with the way that they look? Or does it make you think that this person has so many problems in life and so many things holding them back that their appearance is last on the list and they have given up? Most people think the latter, and that's something you don't want people thinking. But you don't actually have to say that you don't care about how you look or that you've given up for people to think that about you. People will people think that gathering from your actions and how you represent yourself, a first impression is powerful, and people will not forget that as long as they talk to you. I mean, take a look at me. I don't just dress up for videos. Whenever I go outside, I always make a conscious point to make myself look nice. That's because I take pride in myself. And what do you think someone thinks the first time they see me? They think of someone who is intelligent, well-mannered, and someone who's going to respect them. And they don't know that there goes an anime fan walking down the road. They also don't know I enjoy to watch copious amounts of internet porn either, but if they get to know me, which they probably will because they like the first impression of me, what are they gonna know about? They're gonna know that I'm an anime fan. People love to think that your personality is all that matters, that you can just let it all hang out and not show any effort with your appearance, and your true friends, the true friends that you're gonna meet, are gonna appreciate you no matter how you look. And that would be great and all, but how do you plan on meeting these true friends of yours if you are not getting that good first impression of them? I mean, maybe you're working with them, you're in school or college, and you're forced to get to know that person, but if you're on the street, you're just wherever, how many of those people that see you are going to want to stop and talk to you if they don't have to? And it doesn't matter about your complexion, it doesn't matter about your weight, and it doesn't even matter if you think that you are ugly. What matters is effort. If you put effort into making yourself look healthy and just putting yourself together well, like you have confidence in yourself, that's what's going to matter, and people will respect that about you. And what's so difficult about first impressions? If it doesn't look like you have confidence or self-respect, it may seem like you lack it, and you do not want somebody to think that about you. I mean, take it from me, confidence can be something that is pretty hard to work on depending on how you go about it, and I spend a lot of my time when I'm at work. I work at a place where people are so rude and vile that I don't even want to breathe the same air as them, so that can make me feel very antisocial and misanthropic. But I can also spend a lot of time holed up by myself watching anime and making YouTube videos, so I always like to try and give myself one day out of the week, sometimes half a day if I'm really busy, and just go somewhere and do something. Maybe walk in the park, window shopping, just do different things. There's not a whole lot to do around here, but I will try to shed this negative feeling that I have and just smile at people and get in small talk with people, maybe a cashier somewhere. Just talk to people, and you will be surprised at maybe you can make a friendship with somebody. Maybe you can get a date or something. You never know, because there's just so many random people out there that the possibilities are endless. And one great thing about meeting new people, every single person you pass by is an opportunity to just be somebody different. You could go up to them, they don't know any about any of your dispositions, they don't know anything that's holding you back, so it doesn't really matter so much. You could just pretend that you are completely secure about yourself, that you're not shy or anything. Just pretend you're somebody else for a moment and go talk to somebody. It works. Worst case scenario, you go talk to somebody out there, you don't enjoy, you screw it up, something comes up, and it just doesn't last. Doesn't really matter. You have experience with that, and that's something that's really important that you can move forward with and use it to your advantage. Now, heading back to the butthurt anime fan video, there was one thing the girl said there where she said the butthurt anime fans are making anime an inhospitable place for newcomers. This is something that is pretty sad, but actually I agree with. How many of you out there are a part of an anime group on Facebook and you log in every day and you see that it's just filled with these trivial arguments or people doing versus battles that don't even matter? That's not something that a newcomer wants to really get into, and that's not something that a seasoned anime watcher really gets into either. It's just childish. That's why it's important for people to welcome newcomers, and maybe they don't know everything about anime that you know, for example, but just recommend them something that's a bit different. Recommend them something that you think they would like. Quit recommending these cookie cutter mundane shows that everybody wants to recommend. I'm new to anime, recommend me something. Sword Art Online. Guess what? I don't like anime that much like I thought I would, and there you go, you just ruined something. Every time you continue to watch something that is just this mundane cookie cutter, basically the same thing you've already watched 1,000 times, or every time you recommend something like that to somebody else, not only are you wasting the potential of enjoyment that you could have, but you're also wasting their potential as well, because that might get them out of it, because it's probably not even that great, and you could have just showed them something different. But I believe in everybody here. I know we can do this, and it's a good thing it's not really that much of a group effort anyways. Just remember who you are, what you stand for, and the way people perceive you. And remember, you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, believe in the BobSamurai that believes in you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. Check out my anime review playlist, and if you'd like to support this channel, check out my Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.